Hey guys, I'm Danny Goldsmith and this is S1lv35mith. S1lv35mith is a project consisting of 4 routines. They're some of my favorite routines. These routines kind of came about through looking at old plots and thinking, how can I make that cleaner? How can I have the proper motivation so that there's no unnecessary movements? And so that our patter has some sense of carrying them along in a way that they enjoy it step by step, rather than those kind of gaps without much being said where they really have the space to be overly critical. So how do we carry them along and make it more fun for them? For me, a lot of my creative process comes from finding a sense of joy in myself, a sense of appreciation of myself and my space, and from that place it feels things flow more freely and ideas can kind of come forth. And then since they come forth from that kind of joy, I can share them with that kind of joy and express them with that kind of joy. So I'm very happy to be able to share these with you. Hey guys, so I wanted to talk about angles. A lot of people think coin magic is very angle sensitive, especially this stuff into downs palm, edge grip kind of handling. But I wanted to show you, this is with me. I am literally about a foot. My hand is about a foot from this camera. So I want you to see the moment that I flash. Right there. So my limit is from here and then coming up. You can start to flash. This is actually quite a bit of range to be, literally I could reach out and touch you guys. You wouldn't stand this close to somebody's face because you'd be right in their face. So simply stepping back and placing that coin once again into this position, as long as I keep this coin horizontal. This is all the way down to my waist at this point. I'm flashing, but I don't need to be this low. Coming up, I definitely don't need to be this high. So I have so much more play than I think. So the only reason you would flash in this grip is that you didn't keep the coin parallel to the ground. So if you do need to turn in a move, you simply cover. But to display for a moment another coin and to even spin, you actually have great angles. And the more you step back, the better those angles get. But that's with one coin. Let's place 4 coins, thickness, into downs palm. So right here, 4 coins only covered by 1 finger. Still no flash. Right about here, good. And this is a normal place to perform at. I can then come up, and this is just keeping those coins flat. And I really don't need to go higher than this because I'm not going to perform over my forehead. So you actually have a lot more range than you think, even holding 4 coins in downs palm. And remember, every time you step back, even just a little step, you increase that range exponentially. The other thing about angles I want to talk about is left to right. Let's say you are doing something like nowhere palm. So with nowhere palm, your angles all the way to the left are great. Right? So you have from here over to about, once you get it right about there, then you start to flash. So with this, you know your angles. So when you go to perform it, you perform it for the people closest to the right. If you're doing it with the left hand, so you're doing it with the right hand, you perform it to the people closest to the left. But once again, these angles get better as you step back. Because if I want to do this straight on, let's say you were the participant to the left, and I want to do it straight on so people could see, that's a bit of a flash. But just stepping back covers that coin. The more I come in, the more that coin can now be exposed from your angle. So even angles from left to right can be covered by stepping back. So this is a very simple thing, keeping the coins parallel to the ground. That's always important so you don't flash above or below the finger. And for left and right, just remembering that you can simply step back. So a great tip is you can bring people in for a coin routine that does not have much angle restriction. Then you have everyone grouped together. So then when you step back, everyone has been brought in. Rather than when you're here and you're closer, your angles come out. Your angles get better and better. You can have tighter angle restrictions and still work with a crowd.
So this is some major tips that you can do in performing angles, or sorry, knowing your angles when performing. I recommend you place yourself in front of a mirror, hold the coin, and practice just holding the coin like so, keeping it parallel to the ground, and moving up and down and finding where is your actual restrictions, and knowing where your restrictions are. If you're 4 feet from the mirror, your reflection is hypothetically 8 feet. That's like being 8 feet from a spectator. So you can practice in this way, and I encourage you to, because coin magic is not as angle sensitive as many people think, and yet it looks so impossible that you could be hiding that many coins behind one finger. So this is a beautiful aspect of coin magic. It definitely takes some practice and understanding to know angles in this way, but it really pays off. So please practice that, give it a shot, and take it out into the world.
So a little detail I wanted to go over this change. Many people say this is very angle sensitive. Well, we covered earlier the angles this way. But vertical angles I want to talk about, because this seems like if you're holding a coin just behind one finger, that seems like it'd be angle sensitive. But right here you can see that I have no flash, and I can come all the way up to here, and I still have no flash, and here, no flash. So I actually have quite a range of motion here. And this is with a camera 3.5 feet away from me. So the farther back you are, the broader your angles get in terms of this. The key is to just keep that coin horizontal, perfectly parallel with the ground. This will come into, this will be important as well, later as well. But that's the key to most angles in coin magic. When it's shown this way and you're hiding behind a single finger, or even a stack of coins behind 2 fingers, keep them level with the ground. Your angles are far better than you think. Practice this in a mirror, you'll see what I mean. Hey guys, so one of the main moves that we'll need for some of these routines is what I call the DG retention. The DG retention is my take on the Ukawa retention. I previously taught this in a project called Insights through CopelandCoins.com. It's a site Jeff Copeland created. And in that project, I taught it like so, with the fingers curled back, and that's the retention. So I wanted to reproduce the Ukawa retention, but without the fingers forward like so. I wanted them to be more relaxed back and look more natural. So this is what I came up with. Since then, I've had the idea of making a little more visual. I found I could keep the fingers pulled back and still get a very visual vanish. This makes it look so much more clean, so much more impossible that the coin has disappeared. So let's learn how this is done. So the DG retention is an Ukawa retention. So the thumb is forward like so, covering a large portion of the coin, all the way up to right before the first little crease in the thumb, the first phalange. So in the Ukawa retention, the coin is pulled into finger palm, and this, we're pulling it into a very modified grip. It's being pulled into what is almost second finger curl palm. But as you can see, this edge hangs off just a little bit. So it's slightly on top of the middle finger, slightly inside the middle finger as well, like so. So these fingers are held together tightly. These 4 fingers will not move. And the thumb will pull this coin in like so, right into that grip. So the pointer finger is forward. And when doing this move, I keep this knuckle here in contact with this part of my middle finger. For you, this might be a little different, but you want to find what is the point that when you hold your hands like this, is this finger touching that finger? And then if you have conscious awareness of that point, you're aware of that when practicing this, then those fingers won't break that contact. And you'll be able to do this without that pointer finger moving so much. The other quality to this is that when doing the move, the grip of the receiving hand is like so. You have the pinky and ring finger together, and these two fingers claw. The pinky and ring finger are together because they close this gap right here. Because if you were to do the move otherwise, you would see a little bit of flash right in there. So when doing the retention, that closes the gap. The caging of these fingers allows you to get a flash right between those fingers as the move is done. So, once again, the thumb is going to pull this coin and it's going to slightly angle over the pointer finger. Just slightly, starting to become horizontal. Drop off the pointer finger, like so, and get pulled into this grip, where it's partially clipped between the pointer finger and middle finger, the edge hanging a little bit on top of the middle finger, and also gripped by the middle finger. Details. So in practicing this move, it's going to be very hard not to move these four fingers forward when you do it. We're so used to pulling a coin into finger palm by doing this. So it's very hard, and it'll take some time to practice this while maintaining stillness with these four fingers. So one thing you can do to practice is squeeze these fingers together, hold them tightly, and just practice moving the thumb back and forth without those fingers moving. And you can first do this slowly and then practice with speed and going back and forth, like so. So when doing the move, you can also practice by doing this movement very slowly and slowly increasing speed as you learn it. So when doing the move, these four fingers don't move. These two fingers are blocking that gap. We turn the coin to get the flash of the coin. And right as these fingers come together and close, this finger pulls the coin in like so. Because the hand is turned towards the body, this knuckle does not flash. If you do like so, this knuckle will stick out. But because we're turning the coin anyways, which is placing the coin flat on the hand, or that's how it appears to be happening, the hand turns inward, and therefore the knuckle cannot be seen. When doing the move, you want to do the retention, then the hand comes to rest with the palm still facing down. You don't want to turn the hand back, because if you turn the hand back, you get that knuckle flash. You can turn the hand back as long as you've moved the thumb forward to the pointer finger again. So the next variation is the one with the fingers pulled back. So doing the DG retention in this way, we do the retention of the coin, and what it appears to be happening is the fingers relax as the hand comes away. So because the DG retention is only going here, instead of finger palm, only these two fingers are necessary. You could get rid of those completely, and you still have concealment. So when the fingers are back like this, and we go to do the retention, the hand starts to relax as the hand comes away, but the second the middle finger comes in, you have enough cover to do the move, and then those fingers can come in. So here, let's show what that looks like. So you want to turn the coin, get that flash between the caged fingers. Right as the fingers close, this hand starts to come away, and right as it's coming away, the move is done. The move's done the last second, and right as it's being done, the fingers start to relax in, the coins gets pulled into that same position. These fingers continue relaxing in, and the hand drops down. So an extra little detail about the retention vanish. When doing a retention vanish, you want that flash of the coin. It can help to know where your lighting is in the room. Because if you know where the lighting is and the angle to bounce it off, then you might turn to meet the halfway point between the spectator's eye and the light. This way you get a better flash of the coin. You want that flash to happen between the fingers, and you want the move to happen very soon after that flash. This is what gives you the best optical illusion that that coin is still in the hand as the dirty hand's coming away. So the way this, some little science behind this, in case you guys don't know this, this is really fun. The reason this works is because when light changes in the environment, your brain has to adjust your pupils to that changing light. So it freezes that image in your mind for a moment. So that image lingers in the spectator's mind for, I don't know, maybe half a second to a second. So we're using that time, because in that half a second where it seems like you're still seeing that flash in the hand, we can pull the hand away, and it looks as though the flash lingers in the hand even as the hand's coming away. So this is something to practice. You do it in a mirror, you work on the timing of it. You get the flash, close of the gap, hand coming away. Those happen right after each other, just immediately. And you just play around with the timing and see how tightly can you do it without flashing. What is the line between getting that flash and doing the move too soon so that the retention is accidentally seen? So that's something to play around with. Another fun detail in doing the retention vanish, something you'll see a lot of magicians do, is they say, watch. And they vanish a coin. You brought conscious attention to the retention of the coin. So because there's conscious awareness on behalf of the spectator, there's also rational awareness. And because there's rational awareness, and you brought conscious awareness to this move, the second this coin vanishes, they're going to go, oh, it's in the other hand. So retention should be, in some way, in many situations, be done to the subconscious mind. In other words, if I was talking and I said, hey guys, I want to show you guys something really neat with a coin, where we make this coin disappear. See, it's done on the offbeat. The retention's done on the offbeat. It's still seen by the eye and it's still visual, but you're not bringing conscious awareness to it. You're not looking at the hand. You're looking at them when you do it, and then you look at the hand to demonstrate that the coin is there. Because the subconscious mind is not rational. It won't rationalize what happened to the coin. The subconscious mind assumes what it sees. So if that happens on the offbeat, if I'm talking and say, oh guys, this is a silver dollar. This one's from the 1921. And then you vanish it, right? So that's done on the offbeat. And what I mean by the beat are the moments of awareness that you bring attention to your routine. So if I say, here's a coin, that's a beat. It's from 1921, that's a beat. The vanish being a beat. So you can say, this is a silver dollar. Disappears. And even though I'm not using my words, the beat there is, here's a silver dollar. That's the second beat, is the retention. That's the third beat, the gesturing before the vanish, and the fourth beat being the vanish. It has a pace, it has a rhythm, a time. But each beat is a moment where they bring conscious awareness to it. So you can actually do it on the offbeat, and that's saying, oh guys, here's the silver dollar. See, this coin here is from 1921. And then it disappears. So the beats here is, this is a silver dollar. This happens on the offbeat, the next beat being, this coin here is from 1921. The next beat being the vanish. So this is something to play around with. People pay attention in rhythm, in a particular pace. People don't keep constant awareness throughout. They look for the main points of what you're saying. And that's when they have the most focus on what you're doing. So you can actually use the moments in between those beats to do the work in a way that communicates that coin vanishing to the subconscious mind, and therefore more likely that that coin is assumed to be in the hand. So let's go back to this retention, and another way that you can do this where you can do it on the beat. Because if I wanted to bring awareness to it, I could say, we'll make this coin disappear. And we could vanish it like so. So we could say, we'll make this coin disappear. Just like that, we'll get a little piece, get rid of that, and it disappears. So with this, it's kind of using the concept of the spider grip vanish. Some of you guys may know it's when you would vanish and with the dirty hand and make this one kind of look obvious and tense, but doing that kind of in reverse. So we place the coin into the hand. I come up, I mind grabbing a little piece out, so we'll get rid of that. And then we show that empty. So rather than doing the retention, showing the hand empty and then showing this hand empty, which is now there's more awareness that, oh, it's in one of these hands and they may be more likely to see where the concealment is. The assumption is it's still in that hand. So when I gesture like so to show this hand empty, they assume this hand is empty because they still believe the coin is here. That's the misdirection, so that when this hand vanishes, when this hand opens up and the coin vanishes, they assume both hands have been shown empty. So let's teach this. One of my favorite things about the DG retention is because of the position the coin goes into, it's very easy to get into other palms. If you curl in with the middle finger, getting underneath the coin, clip between the pointer finger, and you curl in like so until that coin meets this fleshy part, then the thumb can grab the coin and you could get into Down's palm. From Down's palm, if you come over with the middle finger just like this, you touch it to the thumb, and then you roll down, you can pull that coin into second finger curl palm. From second finger curl palm, you can push up into JW. So there's a lot of different ways you can manipulate coins from this position. You can get into Downs, curl palm, JW. You get from JW to thumb. There's all kinds of easy palms that you can transition into. So the move is the coin goes into the hand. I come up, moving this coin into Down's palm, so that I can gesture grabbing the piece of coin like so, or I can say the coin turns invisible. See, there it is there. We can get rid of that. And as I do the tossing motion, I move it into curl palm. So let's talk about motivation here. No move should happen without proper motivation. The fingers should not be moving without a reason for why they are moving. Otherwise, there is suspicion. So when doing the move, when I come up to go grab the coin, that's the larger movement covering the smaller movement. I'm in this clip position, but as I come up to gesture and grab, I've moved the coin into Down's palm. So, boom, as I come up, I gesture to grab, it's in Down's palm. I mime showing the coin, and then in the toss, I move the coin to curl palm, just as we talked about before, by curling in with that middle finger. Boom. You say, there, it's gone. And then you can show this hand empty. So this is the DG retention. It can be done like so. You can make this hand look dirty, or you can keep it completely closed.
Hey guys, I want to show you this really awesome ring. See, this is my coin wallet. I keep inside my silver dollars. This way it doesn't take up any pocket space. I could just press it in just like so and pull them out when I need them. So you can also just tap just like so and it goes into the ring. Of course, your finger still fits in there as well as the coin, which is pretty cool. You do have to be careful though. If you squeeze too tightly, it'll get stuck. And then no matter how much you try to pull, you can't really get it out. At that point, you have to change the ring into a coin. You can also change the coin into a ring.
So this next routine is called Charmed, and the name was inspired by, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and you know how well, you may or may not know this, but Hermione had the bag that was like endless and you could keep all the stuff in it. And I thought like, oh, I love that idea. And she had put like a certain charm on the bag to make it so that you can keep an infinite amount of things in it. So I had this idea, for a coin and ring where the coin goes into the ring. This has been done before, but I wanted it to be to have some very clean moments and be very, very visual. So let's get started. The first move is going to use a muscle pass, or I have another variation that I can show you. So the ring is on the ring finger, and the coin is resting right here. Now if the pinky, that's the fingers lined up, if the pinky moves forward just like this, just a little bit, it doesn't have to be much, it can sit on this little chunk of flesh, and your hand could be widespread, no need to classic palm it, and you can hold the coin just like that. So I do this so that I can reach over, pull off the ring, and get this very clean display. I come over and I mime trying to pull out the coin. And the reason for this motivation is so that I can use my ring finger to push that coin into position for the muscle pass. See, this is what I was talking about earlier, no unnecessary movements. So you wouldn't want to take the coin off, come over and do the grip before you went to go do it. You want to have proper motivation. So I reach into the ring, say, oh, we'll try to get it out. And while I'm doing that, I'm pushing this coin into position, into muscle pass deeply, so that I can then show the ring. And as I go to dump, I'm going to muscle pass the coin so that it bounces off the ring and into the hand. So some little details on this. I found this works best if you can get the muscle pass to land on top of the ring. So you shoot, it hits the ring, and then you lift up. Because the ring is going to be horizontal with the hand, mostly. Level with the hand. You're going to come up like that. So as you can see, I tap it and I carry the ring up. So it looks like the ring is falling from higher than here. So I do the muscle pass so that it contacts the coin and the ring pulls up. So it looks like I'm dumping from higher, like so. So you do the muscle pass, bounce it off the ring, kind of catching the coin and pulling it up so that it can fall into the hand. A third possibility is just from here, from classic palm, you can actually just drop it onto the coin, carry it up with the ring, and still make it look like it's coming out of the ring. So I would shake, shake, and do like so. And that's just dropping it from classic palm onto the ring and bouncing it up into the hand. And the next move, the coin goes into the ring. So for this move, you're going to do the DG retention, but you're going to really stick out that pointer finger. So it's still going to go on top of the middle finger, like so. It's not going to go in as much as it's going to sit more on top. And the pointer finger is going to be straight. So boom, in like that. So I tap, tap, and I still let it tap, and this edge is riding up against that ring. So you actually hear some sound of the coin going into the ring. So it's like so. Do the move. It makes contact like that. Okay? Now when you come up, if these fingers here are gripping this finger tightly, you can slide this coin up and it hides behind the fingers like so. Just like that. Now you don't want these fingers out like that or you'll get a flash, so you got to hold those tight, and then as you're pulling out, you slide that coin out to produce. Some little details to this. If you hold the ring more like this, more by this side, then when you tap, tap, and you do the move, then when you slide up, you can actually slide across the fingers without making contact with the ring. So this is if you want that move to be completely silent when you gesture, when you come up before pulling out. Another way to do this is you can do it this way. You can go here, and then that way you can come up and pull as well. Just a different variation. The next move gets even more visual. We're going to toss the coin into the ring. So this is once again doing the DG retention. I do let these fingers go a little closer to the coin and do the DG retention. If you do it fast enough, you can get to vanish instantly. So, like so. So if you tap, tap onto the ring, and I like to make sure this last one, it makes contact, and then it goes into DG retention. At this point, I actually go into edge grip. So instead of curling in all the way to down palm, we're going to go to this edge and then come out like this. We're going to grab the ring and we're going to grab it in this position where a little bit of coin can be seen through the ring there. So it overlaps a little bit with that ring. Now, the ring will be ever so slightly slanted down so that you actually have full cover here. You reach up, I show that my finger can go through the ring and yet still produce the coin. And we're simply going to reach in, and because we have that edge showing through the ring, we can grab that edge and produce. Once again, tap, tap, do the DG retention, grab the ring, shown like so. Reach through with the pointer finger, you can contact that edge inside of the ring, thumb goes along the back side, and you're going to produce, hit it against the ring as you pull it out. Because I think if you're pulling a coin in and out of a ring, it should make some sound. From here, I tend to do a knuckle roll, drop in the hand, and swap hands. At this point, I'm going to do the DG retention, but I'm going to let the ring fall on top of the coin as I do it. The ring here lets you get an extra little flash of light that really can make this retention pop. Just make it look completely impossible. So, just the DG retention, just as we talked about before, but right before you do the move, you're going to drop that ring so it hits the coin as this hand comes away. I squeeze and show that the coin has gone into the ring. At this point I say, when you squeeze that tight, it might get stuck, and I go back to trying to pull it out. My reason for this is that I'm moving the coin into heel clip position, because in a moment, we're going to go to the wrist. This is a lot easier to do. This is called arming, and it's a lot easier to do from heel clip. Because from heel clip, it'll almost slide on its own. It's a little hard to do slowly, but it only has to go about an inch. From heel clip, it only has to go about an inch, slides down, and lands on the wrist. Now, angles for this are a little tricky, but it is doable. The farther back you are, the more you can perform this for larger crowds. So at this point, I reach in, shake, shake, shake. That's the motivation for this hand turning over. I say that's not coming out. And now I'm going to do what I call the wristy change. I literally just made this name up like 30 seconds ago because I realized, oh, I don't have a name for this. Oh, we'll call it that. So you're going to classic palm the ring, and you're going to ditch the coin into the hand. It's the easiest change, but it looks so visual. It's just such a beautiful little change. So boom, just like so. At this point, I do a knuckle roll again while I move the ring onto the first finger. Do the knuckle roll, show into the fingers, and you guys know this old ring move where the ring is hidden behind the middle finger, knuckles out like so, and as we go to toss up, we're going to swap fingers really quickly, showing the pointer finger, so it looks like it just appears. And meanwhile, we're going to catch this coin into kind of classic palm, but gripped by the fingers here. At this point, the hand spreads open. We have the same grip as before, where it kind of sits on the flesh of the palm, so the hand can be outstretched. I take the ring off the pointer finger and place it onto the ring finger. This is charmed. Hey guys, I want to show you a very unique coin, one you've never seen before. I know what you're thinking, that looks like a silver dollar from the 20s. Well, you'd be right, except it's not from the 1920s, it's from the 2020s. See, in the future, money makes change all by itself. So just like so, I could split a dollar into two halves, or I can compress the two halves into a dollar. But if, let's say, I needed 50 cents to buy a pack of gum, give it a flick, just like so, that coin will split back into the two half dollars. But I prefer the silver dollar.
This is called a silver dollar in America. Right. See, this is $1 and then 50-cent pieces. So if you split this into two 50-cent pieces like that, that's two halves of a silver dollar. But we can compress those and make them into a silver dollar. But let's try this. If you would put your hand straight out for me, cup your fingers together. Okay, you're gonna, yes, just like that. Perfect. You ready? Yeah. All I'm gonna do is just flick this. just like that.
Fuck me,
It
how
vanishes
did
and
you do
becomes
that?
2 half dollars. What you're doing, I'm just a little different. We'll take the 2 half dollars, throw them together, and just like that.
Wow. That's
There
pretty
you go,
cool.
2 silver dollars.
Just with the one.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright.
You have to do it also.
No, I can't do that.
So this next trick is called split and splice. Basically, I never really liked the spellbound routine. I felt that it was kind of just showing off with coins. It didn't have much of a plot. And though this isn't technically a spellbound routine, it's more of a split coin. It was inspired from trying to create something that had some changes, changing back and forth, but had some pattern to it, had some story to it, that it was more presentable. So, to start this, I tend to start with 2 half dollars in second finger curl palm, which if I need to reach in my pocket, I'll pull them out into this grip. And then from here, you can move the coins into balance. Okay, so that's a little closer to the fingertips, which you can do, or you can go farther back like so. And then it can rest on this fleshy part of the pointer fingers. This gives you some extra stability. So, to do this, it's very simple. You're going to hold between in second finger curl palm, curl in with the thumb underneath, just like that. And lift up. The silver dollar is held at the fingertips like this. And this is such a clean display. You get a very clean display. I mean, actually, fairly good angles for this as well. I tell people, you know, this coin's from the future and that it could make change. And at this point, you're going to do the DG retention with the fingers forward a little bit, because you're going to do it as a quick flash, and you're going to toss these coins into the hand at the same time. So these coins go into the hand as this coin gets pulled into DG retention, this grip here. So. So, that looks like so. And then I come up and display the 2 coins at the fingertips. So just like before, where we taught how to go from the DG retention into Downs palm, from Downs palm, we reach out and we display the coin. So we're holding 2 half dollars here, with that silver dollar in Down's palm of the right hand. So I show the coins, I drop one on the other, and at this point I re-grip like so. This is a grip I call stealth grip. I'll actually be teaching this in some detail in a project through Copeland Coins called Homage. So what will happen here is your middle finger will come under the coin, just like this, like you're going to produce it. Middle finger curls under, and it comes in front of the half dollars like this. Middle finger still holding that coin, thumb on top, and you grip those coins like so. So the thumb is touching the innermost top coin, the pointer finger is on the bottommost coin, and the silver dollar is up against that coin there, just like so. Silver dollar being held by the middle finger and thumb. At this point I say that you can compress them back into a silver dollar, and I come up, I turn a 90-degree angle under the cover of this hand. These two halves go straight into Down's palm, and I produce the silver dollar to the fingertips and spin. So at speed, that looks like so. It's good to practice being comfortable with having coins in Down's palm and spinning a coin. This is a great drill to do that'll help you with a lot of Down's palm work. At this point, take the coin, take the silver dollar, and these coins are going to go into curl palm, just as we talked about before, where the middle finger makes contact with the thumb, rolls over and grabs. But this happens as the hand comes to rest. So as the hand comes down and the fingers naturally curl in, that's when you do the move. You want there to be proper motivation. As I said before, you want there to be proper motivation for every movement. There shouldn't be any unnecessary movements. So you wouldn't want to take the coin, do this, and then rest the hand. That's an obvious movement. So that happens as the hand comes to rest. That goes there. I talk for a moment and say how, well, if you wanted to buy a pack of gum and that was 50 cents, you would want to split this. At this point, I come over and I'm going to flick the coin. Because these two coins are in second finger curl palm, when I flick, those coins are actually going to get shot out. They actually launch a little bit, which is very cool. Because we're going to use that to get this split. Because at the same time we do that, we're going to do the DG retention. Back into that grip once again, and together, that looks like so. Splits into two coins. When doing this, you want to squeeze pretty tightly so that when you flick, the coins launch. If you do it without enough tension, they won't shoot out the way you would want them to. So once again, make sure the hand's turned in a bit here so the thumb knuckle doesn't flash. Flick, and the coins shoot out and split. At this point, I'm going to grab both these coins with the left hand. And as I come up to get into this display, which is like so, I'm going to do this. This coin is from here. I go and let it fall into finger palm, and I make contact with my thumb, turn over, and that happens as I come up to grab the coins. I balance that on my thumb behind the cover of the left hand. You actually have good angles on this. And I ride along the thumb like this. Pointer finger comes in front of these coins, so I can stay behind that pointer finger as I grip this coin like so. Now this is a kind of knacky grip, so let's talk about this. You don't want too much of your thumb on the coin. You want this coin to balance right there. It's right where the thumb kind of starts to curve. So you have that crease in the thumb, just a little bit above that. That sits there. The pointer finger make contact, and it's really being held between the pointer finger and the silver dollar. Your thumb is kind of in contact with it, but more so for it to rest on vertically. This is covered by the pointer finger. So these are your angles. You wouldn't want to go too far to the left here. But what you could do is you could show the other coin like so. And this gives you much broader angles because you're blocking the flash of this coin with this hand, because by the time you turn, that's covered. So you're here. And this is where we're going to do the last change, and my favorite change. This coin is going to fall into finger palm. This coin's going to get tossed into finger palm, and this one's going to get produced just by placing the pointer finger on it. This is very straightforward. So it's just these two go into finger palm. I like to bring both hands together, because if this is still like that, it's not quite as visual than when you bring both hands together. So there's some movement with both hands. So once again, the hands are coming together. Coins balance on the thumb, the edge of the half dollar touching the thumb, but the half dollar is mostly held by the silver dollar and the pointer finger. Gets dropped into finger palm. This one goes to the fingertips here, but with the hands coming together to meet halfway, or even just a little bit of motion with that left hand, so the dropping of this coin is concealed. And that is split and splice. Hey guys, show you something very interesting with 3 silver dollars and a magic Chinese coin. But we'll get to that in a moment. See, if I take the silver dollar and I touch it to that coin, we can then compress it down, making it very tiny, and hang it in space to orbit around us. Do the same with the second. Just simply touch, squeeze. We can hang that one in space as well. Totally beats carrying a wallet. But the Chinese coin, we can't make this coin disappear. See, we need this coin to bring back the others. See, when we touch the other coins to the Chinese coin, they regain their shape, size, and texture, becoming solid silver coins. But this is real money. We don't actually want to make those disappear. Especially given how valuable they are as silver dollars. But the Chinese coin, unfortunately, when we're done with it, dissolves into space. So this routine is called atomic orbiting coins, and it was inspired by Kainoa Harbottle's pendulum hanging coins. See, it has a similar cadence. Kainoa Harbottle has really kind of brought to the forefront a lot of coin magic with Downs palm, edge grip, etc. And I loved all his work, felt deeply inspired by it, but wanted to make some of the transfers a little cleaner. So this is what I came up with. So for this, you're going to need 3 silver dollars, and one different coin. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Chinese coin. I like this, but it could be any dollar-sized coin, or you could do this with halves. But what you will want is soft coins. See, these coins are very worn down. They're not brand new silver, so they're kind of quiet. But these coins aren't very noisy, and this helps. It's not completely necessary, but it helps. So first we're going to talk about the retention. Doing a retention into Down's palm. If you do this with half dollars, you can't go as deep as Down's palm because the fingers have to curl in this far, and that is a kind of unnatural grip. So you won't want to go all the way into Down's palm. If you're doing this with halves, you want to go into what Kainoa Hardbottle calls deep edge grip. There's still some gap here. This is so that when the hand does a retention, the fingers don't curl in as far. I personally find this to be harder than using dollars, because dollars you can go all the way into Down's palm because the fingers don't have to curl in as far to get that coin into Down's palm. So let's talk about the retention. When doing this retention, the coin is held by the very tips of the fingers. I mean, you could just barely hold it. This way, the middle finger can make contact and pull it out of the pointer finger and thumb without these fingers moving. See, when a lot of people do this, they'll overreach. You don't want to do this because this pointer knuckle pops. You only need to go to here. The pointer finger should not bend, so just as far as the middle finger needs to go. Because you're holding it by that edge, the middle finger can pull in, pivoting along underneath the thumb and into this clipped position. So once again, pointer finger and thumb, middle finger just steals it out, pivots it around, and it goes into this clipped position. Just rides along the thumb. Now when doing this, you might have the impulse to bend this thumb up. This is a common impulse for people to do, is to do that. But it's very important not to move these two fingers, because we're just barely holding it by the edge. You can steal with that middle finger without those fingers moving. But no worries if you make the mistake. I do sometimes of doing that. So this coin goes in from this position. As I gesture to grab a next coin is when I continue that transfer from the clip into Downs. This can also be done with two coins. So you get one coin in Downs. You could do this display. I recommend practicing flipping a coin over in this display to help you become more comfortable. That's done by holding the coin pointer finger and thumb, middle finger goes behind it and flips it over like so. So you also have to be able to do retentions into a stack without making, well, it's not to say you can make a little bit of noise because there's usually some atmospheric sound, but very, very, very little noise whatsoever, and being able to do that retention. While still having a coin in Downs. So let's talk about how to do this. This coin gets curled in and the edge makes contact right here. This first edge makes contact and then we finish sliding in. The whole coin's not flat with it. I then lift it up and flatten it with that coin. So once again, thumb curls, middle finger curls in, and just comes in real nice and smoothly. So another detail when doing this retention, you only curl to here in the beginning. So from here, to there, just making contact with that edge. You'll see I do retention like this, and that's just to here. And then as I gesture to go grab something is when I finish the move. So it's still the same with 2 as it is with 1. And this can be done with multiple coins. So a fun way to practice is to do like so, just practicing with multiple coins, pulling them into downs palm if you use silver dollars, and deep edge grip if you use halves. But I highly recommend using silver dollars, not only because they are more visual as larger coins, but because you'll find this to be easier to learn with larger coins once you get used to the weight. The next move is the steals. So in one situation, you'll be in this grip, very similar grip when we went over in the split and splice, the exact same grip actually, and I call this stealth grip. So once again, thumb holding the uppermost inside coin, pointer finger on the bottom coin, middle finger underneath the coin in stealth grip. What's going to happen is this hand's going to come over, and as it goes to grab the next coin to vanish it, it's going to steal one of those coins, like so. So once again, that looks like this. Just by coming over and grabbing the next coin, you've stolen one coin into downs palm of the left hand. So, how do we do this? A good way to practice this is to place a coin into downs palm, bring the middle finger curled in, and pull it out, making sure that coin stays horizontal to the ground. Yep, parallel to the ground, horizontal. That way you know you found your balance point. You know where to hold that coin on your middle finger. So just by curling in and extending, you learn where that point is. So from downs, curl in, extend. If that coin stays horizontal, you found your balance point. So in stealth grip, we come over, and as I go to grab this bottommost coin, the middle finger contacts this coin here, finding that balance point so that it can curl in to downs as I grab the next coin, like so. This move can also be done with multiple coins. So with multiple coins, if I was holding one and I had 2 coins in stealth, I can come over like so. This is a little different, slightly modified. You're going to come in and you're actually going to place these coins straight into that clipped position. So the coins go straight into the clipped position, finger wraps around, pushing that straight into downs palm. So without the coin in front, this is what happens. Here, boom. And you could grab a coin or just leave it there in downs. The single coin without cover of the other one, this hand comes in, finds the balance point, pulls in to downs. These are the main moves for atomic orbiting coins. So to start the routine, you'll have the Chinese coin on the uppermost part, behind, silver in front of that, silver in front of that, silver in front of that, stepping down. Okay. I hold these in the left hand, and I grab the first silver coin off the bottom. I touch to the Chinese coin, saying that this coin is magic, and I'm going to do the retention as I did before. But I'm not going to go all the way into downs palm. I'm just going to go to this position, right here. Just as we talked about before, middle finger curling in and into that position. So I go here, and then as I come to grab the stack, my middle finger is going to extend so that I hold that coin in stealth grip behind the stack, like so. So the first coin goes here, grab the stack, show that it's vanished. I'm now in this grip. So we went from here and then extended a little bit so that that coin is directly behind the stack. This coin touching the uppermost coin, the thumb on the uppermost coin, pointer finger on the lowermost coin to hold the rest stable, middle finger underneath. At this point, you'll do the stealth steal. This finger will come in and steal that coin into downs as you grab one of the silver dollars. So to do this without flashing, the hand comes in, and the pointer finger is all the cover you need. This bottommost coin will make contact with the knuckle of the middle finger of this hand. This makes it so that you're fully covered to do the move as you pull the bottommost coin off. You now have one coin in downs, coin at the fingertips. So then you can do the next vanish. You can do the retention into the right hand. And for this one, you're going to go all the way in. You're going to grab the stack, and as you go to place these coins into this hand, both coins are going to end up in stealth grip. So let's talk about how to do that. You have one coin downs, one at the fingertips. You're holding these two here. You're going to do the retention as this hand covers. You do the retention, and as you do the retention and it meets that other coin, you're then going to come back out, balanced on the middle finger, but slightly clipped by the pointer finger as stability, and that's going to go behind those two coins. Like so. So now you're in stealth grip, these two coins touching the uppermost coin, pointer finger on the lowermost coin, middle finger holding those coins there. You would then vanish this coin, and at this point you're then going to do the stealth steal with two coins, the modified stealth steal, where we go straight into this clip position between the pointer finger and middle finger, coming over as we grab the next coin. So far, what that looks like is this. You do the retention, push back into stealth, vanish, come over to grab the next coin, doing the stealth steal into downs, do the retention into the stack and move the stack into stealth grip, vanish, do the modified stealth steal, show, and then do the vanish of at this point we'll then do the vanish of the third coin. That'll also go into the stack, and then we're going to do something unique here. Just as we went over in split and splice, we're going to move these coins into balance palm, but not from curl palm, but from this clip position. But same move, the thumb comes under, the middle knuckle actually pushes those coins on until they're stable, and we're going to grab this Chinese coin with the silver dollars in balance palm. See, like so. You actually have a lot of stability here with larger coins than you do with halves, because you're meeting this pointer finger as well as this flesh here. You can even turn the hands this way. So if you had these four fingers closed and you wanted to gesture like this, you can gesture like this while still holding those silver dollars. So, vanish the last coin. And at this point I say that we can't vanish the Chinese coin, and I'm pointing here because this is so that I have motivation to be in this grip. So I'm pointing, which is my motivation for being in this grip. The middle finger is going to contact this lowermost edge right underneath the coins here and pull those coins into the clipped position. Then the thumb is going to go on top and place these coins into thumb crimp, or I think it's also referred to as the demache palm. So once again, from balance palm, as we're pointing to the Chinese coin, which is held in spellbound grip, middle finger contacts underneath these coins, pulls them into the clip position, thumb comes on top, and re-grips into thumb crimp. So that will look like this. You hold here, the last coin vanishes, you show the Chinese coin. I say we can't vanish the Chinese coin, we need this coin to bring back the others. Just in that gesture, I've moved those coins to thumb crimp. At this point, I'm going to grab the Chinese coin, leaving these silver dollars in this hand. So these four fingers are blocking this as I come in, just like so, leaving those coins right here. You're not going into finger palm for this. We need a particular grip for this next move. So you're actually going to place it along the palm here, not in finger palm, but just somewhat outside, along these kind of pads. And that'll go right there with these fingers gripping it, like so. So this happens as I point to the Chinese coin and I gesture and say that we need this coin to bring back the others. So now I'm in this grip. I place the Chinese coin right here, so that these coins can now fall on top, which we'll get to in a moment. Because now as I reach out to grab silver coins and I say we're going to drop them onto the Chinese coin, I'm going to release these silver coins onto the Chinese. You do this just by loosening your grip with your fingers, like so, and you time it with the tossing of the coins. So what's nice about this, you're here, you show the Chinese coin, the hand comes over, places it down, and you mime the dropping of the coins. What's great about this is the left hand has absolutely no movement, and you've now produced all three silver coins, which I show like so. At this point, I flip them into a finger palm position with the Chinese coin here. And now I'm going to use the stealth grip again. So I'm going to go and I'm going to grab the first silver coin, but I've actually grabbed the Chinese and the silver behind it. So I grab the Chinese, kind of do a retention type move, just a slight retention, and I grab the silver coin. I show the silver coin, and what I like to do here, and this is maybe a little overkill, is I curl that coin all the way into Down's palm, and I show the silver coin like so. I say, these are real solid coins. At this point, I actually do a retention, pulling this into a stack, and I say, so these are real money, I'll keep these on me. And I go to put the silver dollar away with the Chinese coin. If I have a belt, I tuck it into my belt loop, otherwise I tuck it into my pants. You don't want these to make sound, of course. So I tuck those away. and then say, I actually got these from my grandfather. He passed these down to me when I was young. At this point, you can make sounds. So if you already have a coin in the back pocket, that coin can make contact with that. And I say, so these are precious to me. We won't make these disappear again. But the Chinese, and at this point, you're just miming, right? You say it's made of magic, and therefore when it's done, it completely dissolves. And you have this great, very simple throw away, vanish. It's way too easy, and you end completely clean. That is atomic orbiting coins. Hey guys, so this next one is called coin cuffs, and it's my take on the crazy man's handcuffs. A friend of mine, Marcus Magus, who if you're not familiar with him, check him out on Instagram. He's a fantastic coin guy. He came to me and said, no one's done a crazy man's handcuffs with coins. And at the time, this was true. And we both kind of were like, okay, we'll each try to come up with something. And I spent a night on it, and I came back, I showed him this, and he loved it. So let's get into the teaching. So for the grip of this, you're going to hold this coin in the left hand between the middle finger and thumb. The other coin comes under, and you're going to get into this crazy man's coin cuffs grip. But this coin is going to be held the first crease from the fingertip between the first and second phalange. They're held like so. And about that far down the thumb. So not quite the tip of the thumb, but more so in between the tip of the thumb and that first crease of the thumb. This is centered on the crease of the middle finger, like so. So the move for this, the grip for this, is just this. All the fingers are curled in, except for the middle finger and thumb, and you're going to make contact with the edge of that coin with the knuckle of the pointer finger, just like that. So this knuckle of the pointer finger comes in and grips the coin. So the position for it is right there on that knuckle. Right after this first knuckle from the fingertip, right in there. So this finger can come in and the thumb can come away. So I want to talk about another detail of the grip for coin cuffs. You want to hold the coin closer to the side of the middle finger than the middle. So if you hold it with the middle, it's very hard for this knuckle to find the coin. It's too far away. But if you're holding it with this, almost the side of the middle finger, it's kind of very high up on that coin like this, then that knuckle can come into position. So once again, if you're holding it high up, right there, then this knuckle can reach that edge. But if you end up holding it lower, the way you would normally hold a coin between your middle finger and thumb, this knuckle can't reach that edge unless you can contort in amazing ways. So that's a little detail that'll help you find the grip. So if we go back into the grip, this coin held closer to the fingertips. This one in the grip we talked about. All fingers pulled back, so from the middle finger and thumb. I like to tap tap, show that I'm locked in. And as I pivot up, I'm going to move that pointer knuckle into position, like so. My thumb can then slide behind the coin, while this coin comes in front. I don't make contact. I like that it is completely silent. So in doing this, we come up, we grip with that pointer knuckle, we come across, and we don't re-grip in the thumb in the same spot. We're actually going to bend the thumb in and grab with the tip of the thumb, so that now, when we turn, that coin rolls forward a bit, closer to the fingertips, which then when we come up, it's now farther away from that pointer knuckle, which makes it seem like there's no other way it could have been gripped other than just by these two fingers. So once again, we come into this position, come up, gripping the coin, with it just barely away from that coin. The thumb slides along the back, regrips with the tip of the thumb, rolls forward as we show. So once again, here, and I tap. At this point I go back into position, so I place it back onto that knuckle, and I go back through. So just in reverse, you're just going to go through like this. Regrip with the thumb, and then I come down to show that they've regripped. At this point, you're going to get set up for the vanish, and this totally fools people. They just do not see it coming. So because we're in this position, we can place this coin right here into JW. So as we come up, this coin goes into JW, and we show like this. Now we get the easiest penetration ever because there's nothing there. But we're going to come through like this with that coin JW, and then move these fingers forward like this. At this point I say the reason this works, at this point I'm going to drop this coin into finger palm while I push this one to the fingertips. I say is because this coin is solid and this one doesn't exist. So once again, we're here. You're going to grab in JW, come up, pull through, close these fingers. I say, the reason this works, and as I'm doing that, that gives me the misdirection to drop that one to finger palm and move this one to the fingertips, is because this coin is solid and this one doesn't exist. That is coin cuffs. So we're here in Kathmandu, Nepal, and a huge part of the culture here, at least for like the Buddhism and Hinduism aspects of the culture here, is mindfulness, or a sense of really connecting with what we're doing and being directly present with what it is we're doing, rather than having a storyline or thought about what's happening. And I felt this really applies to both practice as well as performance, and I want to talk about that a bit. Earlier I talked a little bit about practicing in the sense of knowing what it feels like to do the move. So when we practice, sometimes we're analyzing and really analyzing it, and that's very helpful once to first understand what needs to be done. But once we know the move, I find for myself at least, it's very important to let go of the thinking about it and just notice, what does it feel like to do the move? What does it feel like across my fingers? So like when I do a retention, what points of my hand does it make contact with? And can I bring awareness to that part of my body? Because what we're doing is we're using our body, right, our tactile sensation, to work with coins or any object for that matter. So when we perform, when we practice, we use a mirror to see if it looks right. But when we're out and we're performing for spectators, we don't have a mirror. We can't see from their eyes. So it helps us know if we're doing it well is by how it feels. See, I've practiced a move so many times, I know exactly what it feels to move a coin into downs and into curl palm. I know what that feels like every time and when it feels right. And it's because when I practice, I take the time to notice, what does that sensation feel like? And to feel the sensation of the coins as I manipulate them. So I highly recommend trying that out. And also in performing, once you know your patter and your script, be there, be present, enjoy what you're doing. It's so easy to get kind of automatic with our performance, but it's very powerful to be present with our spectators, to be really there with them and to play off them and to, bring awareness to what we're doing. Now, to not worry so much while we're practicing or thinking too much about what we're going to do next, but to be there with each moment. This helps us to really slow down and make our magic a lot cleaner. So I encourage you to, apply this stuff. Apply, what does it mean to be mindful of what we're doing? To be completely present with practicing and with performing, and how does that affect our magic? So another thing I wanted to talk about was motivation. Often you'll see magicians, they'll do a retention vanish, and then you'll see them do something like this before the coin vanishes. It's kind of moving the coin into the palm. Well, what is the point of that? Why did the hand move? Because if you were really to put a coin into the hand, you would take the coin, place it into the hand, and then you wanted to move in a particular way. Shouldn't it make sense that you're moving in that way rather than just a random movement where the spectator goes, what just happened there? It kind of distracts and takes away from the magic. So we should have motivation for every single move, and that means even the slightest moves of even curling the fingers. So I'll give you an example. So if I were to do the retention and I wanted to get into thumb palm, I could do it as I wave. I can go from here into thumb palm. So by pointing, I'm in this gesture. That's the motivation for why I'm in this grip. Yes? So I can do the move, point. That gets the coin in position to put into thumb palm. Get into thumb palm, wave, and vanish. But rather than doing the move and doing this and then waving and the spectator wondering, why did that movement just happen? What's going on there? Another aspect of motivation is knowing what is the proper move for the situation. If you want to get a coin into thumb palm and there's no proper motivation to get it from your last move to thumb palm, then maybe you need to rethink the move. Maybe there needs to be a move that goes directly into thumb palm, and that would be a better move. Sometimes we don't want to sacrifice the sleight that we like the most, and we'd rather do that sleight and then have some funny movement to get into the next position we need, rather than just doing the proper sleight in the first place that moves the coin where it should be. So I encourage you guys to think in this way of what is proper motivation? Why do we move our hands in a particular way? Why did I just put that there? Was it motivated? I've seen people perform where they produce 3 coins and then they put the coin onto the fan so that they can do the slide move. That doesn't make any sense, honestly. If you just produce the 3rd coin, you're in this position, you want to put a coin in that hand, you wouldn't put it onto the fan and then place it in the hand. That doesn't make any sense, and that looks a little fishy. So rather, you would take the coin, if you just produced the 3rd coin, and you wanted to place it in that hand, you would go straight to here. That would make the most sense. So I encourage you guys to think in this way. What is proper motivation? How do we streamline and simplify our magic so that it is straightforward? There's nothing that's odd that the spectators have to think, why you did that, why you did that. But rather they can relax and everything makes sense so they can sit back and enjoy what we do. So that's my thoughts on motivation. Another quality of the culture here is people are super humble, and it is such a great lesson in life because it makes them so easy to relate to. because of their humility. They don't have these barriers up between us. So I would also encourage you guys to be humble in your magic. Sure, it's good to be confident, but you can also be humble. And in this way, when we enjoy what we do, we enjoy offering it, because magic is a gift. And we're having fun offering that to somebody. And we're coming at it from a place of offering and that sense of humility. People enjoy it so much more than when we come at it as a challenge and I'm going to fool you. The problem when we come out from that place, we've already created a challenge, and then they're treating it like a puzzle rather than a performance. So I encourage you guys to really connect with your experience, be present with your practice, be present with your performance, really enjoy what you're doing, offering it as a gift, caring for your participants and making sure they're having fun, and being precise with our moves, having proper motivation and looking at why we're doing what we're doing. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for purchasing my product. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is DannyGoldsmithMagic. If you ever have any questions about some of this, please relate to the video first. But if you have questions, feel free to message me. I'm always pretty open to relating to people and helping people out. Also, please check out my previous project, Insights, which I released through CopelandCoins.com. And that's got some really neat stuff on it. That's where I first taught the DG retention, and I also teach some other really fun stuff in there. So check that out, guys. Thanks again for purchasing. I really hope you enjoyed it. I already said that, but I'm going to say it again because I really hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys later.